Hello. Yeah, the topic for today is how to teach a kid how to think, because they are like sponges. Every time they hear something from you, they are sucking it in and they are going to act like you did. And I developed a technique how I could help them to really form a way of thinking, like that they become independent thinkers and critical thinkers. And to this, the first thing is to them to open to you. So if you can help them to open to you and tell their stories, then you can reflect. First listen, and then help them to realize how and what was going on, and then help them to make the right choice. For example, it was a good example with my daughter. She went in the school, and they really hate when you pick them up and in the car you just try to ask them, oh, what was in the school, how was it today, and what did you eat, because they don't want to be there in the school again. It was enough the entire day. They don't want to go back there, and every time you ask them about that, they go back. Their fantasy is phenomenal when they are 7 years old or in this age. So they can literally see if they play that in the room there is an ocean and you cannot, and they shout that, oh, you cannot step in the ocean. They literally see for their eyes this ocean. So be careful, don't send them back in school if it's possible after school. So we usually go home, or we go for an ice, or we just stop on a kindergarten on a playground, and then she plays after school, because I think it's very important that they move enough, they jump enough, so their cognitive mind gets enough oxygen and they develop fast, as I told in the earlier videos. But if you do something with them which is fun to do, like eating an ice and just enjoying the taste and so on, then they open from themselves, so that you don't need to ask, oh, what happened in the school. They will tell you the most interesting story and the important stories. And if you do it regularly, they're gonna get used to this, that they can open to daddy, especially if you handle these stories right. So I think it's critical that you are slow and you just listen and let them tell you what happened. For example, one day my daughter was in the school, and then they went out in the garden of the school with friends, and there was a rope, and she was climbing on the rope, and her best friend was there, and a boy came, and they've been talking, and my daughter was up there on the rope, and this guy down, let's call him Thomas. Thomas was really, he just started to shake the rope, and my daughter was falling down, and she hurt her arms and her back, and there were wounds and so on. And I was like, whoa, show me, how does it feel? Is it hurt? And then she showed me, and I've seen, and I've noticed, oh yeah, this must have been bad for you. So you emotionally connect with them when you ask them how it was, and how do you feel now, how was it then, who was there, and if someone helped you or not. And then we started to talk about these people who've been involved in this story. So she understands how people are, and how she can how she can relate to these people, how she should relate to these people. So I was asking, who is this guy, who's Thomas, and tell me about him. And then she told me actually that this person is always the troublemaker in the school, and then I was asking him, or her, like if you next time climb on the rope or on a tree, would you feel safe if this guy is there playing with you? And then she told me, no, actually you're right, it's no. So I told her, I think it's, do you think that it would make sense to have a little distance from this boy, because he's a troublemaker and it hurts you literally. So and then she said, yeah, Daddy, you I think so. So I don't think that I'm going to spend so much time with him. And I said, okay, but, and I told her, but be careful because people change. So give him time. Maybe he is too young, or he has a bad period, but it's good to take a step back from this guy and be careful with him. And she said, yeah, I think this is the same thing that I think. And then so we said, okay, and what about your best friend? And yeah, she was there, and then we've been talking when this boy came, and then I fell down, and then what did your best friend do? And she said, nothing actually. She was asking you if it hurts or if she could help. No, she was just sitting up there and just watching and not doing anything. I said, oh, that's bad. And then who else was there? And then she said, Sarah was there. And I said, yeah, really? And what did Sarah do? And she said, oh, she was running there and she was asking me how I feel, and she was checking my wounds, and she said if she could help me to bring something, a little water or something. And I said, wow, this is very nice, no? What do you think? And then she said, yeah, it felt good that she was there for me and she cared. And I said, yeah, it's brilliant. She was on your birthday as well, I remember. And then she said, yeah, and then she started to talk about Sarah and how nice she is and stuff. And then I said, what do you think? Whom would you spend more time with, like with this boy or with Sarah? I mean, whom can you count on? Whom can you trust more? And then she said, yeah, this girl is very trustworthy and so nice, and she's always happy. And I said, wow, it's a very nice person. I think it's would be a good idea if you spend more time with her. And she said, yeah, that's good. We are going to be very good friends. And I said, wow, nice. And she was thinking through the process with me, and she could come to conclusions. I could come to conclusions, but I usually try to ask and let them make the first decision, and then you correct it if it's not the right one. But they should come to conclusions, and you are just there to help them. It's just like helping them to grow, to become who they are going to. So it's like a bloom, like it's growing, and you just help them. You nurture them, and they open, and they become a beautiful flower eventually. And this is one of the best way to teach, I think, to teach a kid on how to think, that you are at the dinner table or while you have an intimate hour together and somewhere, and you can talk with each other, and she opens, then you can discuss these topics. But don't force them decisions. They should feel light in this process, and the process should be very easy and natural. If it's natural and it's like lightweight, no strong fights involved, or that, you know what I mean, then you really help your kid to handle this situation and prepare on stronger or the more difficult situations, so they can handle it by themselves, even if you are not there. So I'm very curious about your experience, and if you have any idea or anything that it relates to this topic, then please write me. and have fun.